This video is my weekly review of the market activity and my own performance in the first week of December 2024. Now, before I go into it, I just want to get a few things off my chest. I was a little hesitant to make this video, to be honest. Normally, I do them on Saturday, but I'm doing it on Sunday. I didn't feel good about doing it because of one, stuff that happened in the market during the week, but also in my personal life as well. Um, there was an event that was not too pleasant, and that sort of impacted my trading and my outlook. I've been a little down, not too down, but just I received some news that wasn't favorable, and it has dampened my mood a bit. So this video I wasn't really excited to make. And when you add to it the fact that, okay, let me just even say, so alongside this Instagram, now that I think about it, there were actually quite a few things that affected me this week. Two major things. One was that my I started alongside this YouTube page. I also opened an Instagram account dedicated to my trading. Now, whereas YouTube is dedicated to more long form videos, these reviews, market forecasts, sometimes trade breakdowns. On Instagram, it's much easier to post short form content. I can just pick up my phone and film my screen as I'm thinking through a trade that I want to take. So I can do befores, I can do durings, I can do afters, more short form videos that I was posting there. And I was documenting every single trade there, my thinking, the time of the trade, trade duration, videos that I can't really put on Instagram just because there's a higher barrier to posting on Instagram. You have to give it a title. I don't have to title my to posting on YouTube rather. I don't have to title my Instagram videos, for example. Just the caption. Here you need to give it a title. This you have to, whether it's age restricted. You don't have to put it in a playlist. So it's just there are more levels to posting on YouTube than on IG. And so a lot of that content has now been lost. I lost the Instagram account for no reason. I was not mass liking, was not mass following, did not do anything, did not nothing shady on the account. I was basically just recording myself and my trading activity and posting it there. Wasn't even following that many people. I was literally just viewing stories of the accounts that I followed on that account, trading accounts, and then it just said you've been blocked. Now that happened twice. The first time it happened, they asked me to do some verification, which I did, and I got the account back. But then it happened again. This time I did the verification again, but they said they reviewed it and still think I violated the community guidelines. So I can't even create another one because I didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing that I did on the account that I wouldn't do again, right? That I would know not to do because I was not doing anything as far as I could tell. I was violating the community guidelines. So if I created another one, the same thing is probably just going to happen. So that really set me back in my content creation journey. Wasn't too happy, about that. I'm like, and I had started gaining a following. I think I had about almost 40 followers, and some of my videos would be getting traction. And apart from that, it was my online journal that had more detail, had more of my thoughts than this YouTube page, for example. And now all of that is lost because when I created the videos, I had to delete some of them from my phone because of space. So as far as I was concerned, that Instagram page was my online repository of all of my trading activity, and it was about a month's worth of work. I had almost 30 videos there as well, and then just lost. So that kind of dampened my mood a bit, especially when it came to putting myself out there creating content, which I had just started and I was getting excited about. And that was one. It happened this week. So sort of dampened my mood. I was not able to track my trading activity as much since there wasn't really a platform. Two is that, and this is a little personal, I wonder why I'm sharing it here, but hey, since this is my market review, I gave you the most important video. If you ask me, like, of all the playlists I have on this channel, which one is the most important? Which videos do I personally think hold the most value? It would be the weekly review videos because they show what I thought is going to happen in the market versus what actually happened and what I did. So the biggest lessons will be learned when you have the benefit of hindsight and focusing on your activity within a particular week of trading. I received some not so great news during the week. My company, so I still had a full time job that I was doing. I had a regular 9 to 5, and I quite enjoyed it because it gave me a lot of time freedom to focus on my trading. What happened was that I lost. I got informed that I'm going to be let go because the company was downsizing. So basically, layoffs happened. Myself and a couple of other members of staff were impacted. And so this is a job that I was hoping to hold on to for a while, pending when trading could really take off. But now that has been snatched away from me. And yes, initially I did not think it really impacted my psychology that much, just because it's not the first time, I've had terrible experiences in the job market. And also, as my trading has improved, I have come out of the mindset of needing a 9 to 5, of relying on a 9 to 5, of thinking that I have to have a good job and hold it down for my life to go great. I know the possibilities and the potential that exist within trading. And so my mindset has shifted. But trading doesn't pay all my bills just yet. I am just on the precipice of breaking through majorly in my trading. And I was hoping that I could hold on to this job for a little while longer, pending when trading eventually took off, and then give me a cushion, let's say 2 years worth of my salary. That would then enable me to make the decision as to whether I wanted to quit the job and go full time trading and all of that. But that moment came quicker than I wanted and not at my behest. So these were the two things that, now that I reflect on it, happened this week. And I was being hard on myself because I messed up during the week. I messed up on NFP Friday. I'll go into that. But now that I look at it, I actually, for what I lost in the week, so I lost 1.2% this week. It shows me the progress that I've made, because old me, with the kind of week that I had, I would definitely have blown my account, or I'd have lost like 3% or 4% during the week. So the fact that all of these things could happen, and I misbehaved a little bit in the market, and I'm only down 1.2% on my account. I think I should actually give myself props for that. But enough of the unloading and the chit chat. This was not my plan for this video. I just sort of went into that ramble. But let me show what happened on the charts. So most of my trading happened on pound dollar this week. As a matter of fact, I don't think I took any trades on euro dollar this week. But this is what the weekly candle looked like. You see, it's an indecision candle. What were we looking for? I mentioned in my forecast video when this week opened that I was looking to see price trade into this weekly fair value gap, and that I wanted to see what was going to happen there. So I was bullish until price touched this weekly fair value gap. And that's essentially what happened, but it did not happen until NFP on Friday. So when price traded into the weekly fair value gap only on Friday, you see it went quite a bit into it and then rejected, closing somewhere in the top range of the candle, but still an indecision candle because it opened very close. It closed very close to where it opened, right? With a wick on top and a wick at the bottom. If you go down to the daily, we can see the 5 days of price action. You see that it was pretty much rangy. This is Friday's price action. Let me delete this position so it's annoying me. So this was Friday's price action. This was Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So Monday traded lower into a forward fair value gap and basically ranged for the next 2 days. Then Thursday, for whatever reason, I think there was news on Thursday, spiked up. Friday started trading heavily bullishly. During NFP, tapped into the level and then ultimately rejected, closing bearishly. We go down to the 4 hour, so we can see this was the 4 hour fair value gap that price traded into on Monday. You can see that, yes, I wanted to get involved here. I got involved on the pound dollar equivalent of this price action, since euro didn't really give me an entry, but you can see that this was very messy price action, right? Eventually, the fair value gap held, but not without, a big fight, and not without getting a lot of people chopped up. Let me quickly go to pound dollar. So if I go down to the trading time frames, you can see that this is a trade I did not take, but I'm just seeing that it could have been profitable. I could have netted 2R essentially off of NFP if I had just, behaved myself a little better. Let me go to the 4 hour and then go to pound dollar. So on the pound, exactly. So this area here, this is a daily fair value gap, the red rectangle, and then the green rectangle nestled inside it is the 4 hourly fair value gap. This was where I took my first. This was where I took my trades this week. Actually, I was wrong. That's not what happened at all. So let me go back to Euro USD. I actually lost money on Euro USD, whereas if I had been looking at the pound, I would have made money. Yeah, that's what happened. So I actually took losses inside this euro dollar range. Yeah, that's actually correct. So when price, let me go to the 15 minute. Let me see if I can recollect those trades. Yeah, so this was it. This was Monday's. Yeah, this was it. So this was Monday's. This was Monday's price action, right? Yes, this was it. When price traded, let me see. This is Monday, 2nd December. Fantastic. So when price traded into the 4 hourly fair value gap after Asia high had been traded below, this was my entry. I had this. I took this trade. Okay, this was the first one, right? You can see that that was a loss, right? Because price traded into the 4 hourly fair value gap, then gave this hammer candle. So I took the trade. I think I was targeting something like this, and then I immediately took a loss. I got stopped out, right? Then I think price after I got stopped out, price. This was the next entry that I took. Yes, this was it. After I got stopped out, still within London kill zone, you can see that this 15-minute fair value gap was created in price. So as soon as I saw this engulfing candle, I took an entry, another entry here. My stop went, I think, somewhere below this low. I think my stop was here. And actually, price did give me a bit of a reaction. You see, it just took out this high, but it was nowhere near my target. I also scaled into this trade on the 5 minutes. You can see that there's this fair value gap here. Let me see if I can. This fair value gap on the 15 minutes. So I took a scaling trade here, which also made some money, but ultimately did not get to my target. So I got taken out of both trades. And at this point, I was down, I believe, 1.5% on the week because I risked 1% on the initial position. Then I got um, I got taken out of the scaling position where I was risking 0.5%. So I was down 1.5% at the start of the week. Now, in between, I had some issues with my trading platform, Trade Locker. I tried to open a single trade and it ended up opening 4 trades on me. And so I realized that my risk had suddenly been quadrupled. Of course, as soon as I noticed it, I had to manually close the extra trades. And then I was getting in touch with my prop firm to tell them how, oh, look what happened. I tried to open a single trade, 4 trades were open. The first customer support representative who attended to me was like, it's not possible to open 4 trades. You probably clicked multiple times. I'm like, don't treat me. I'm not a novice trader. I don't use one-click trading. One-click trading is not active. And if you know Trade Locker, when you try to place a position, you have the order panel, you press buy. After you press buy, a dialog box appears that tells you to confirm the trade. And once you press the confirm once, the dialog box disappears. So for you to take another trade, you have to go back to the order panel, click buy again, then confirm that one, right? And if you saw, and in the trade history, all the trades were opened within the same second. Like even if you're using one-click trading, that's not possible, right? There will be a delay. So I clicked confirm once and it ended up opening 4 positions. So the first customer support representative was quite nasty. I told them, look, check, I know what I'm talking about. Take a look at the history. You'll see that my claim is correct. I think TradeLocker had a glitch. And they just said, yeah, no, it's not our problem, not our fault. We can't do anything about it. And then, I'm like, but at least what you do is investigate my claim, ask for my account ID, ask for the trade IDs, then take a look at it and then tell me what you think. And he was like, no, that he has already given me my explanation. And he closed the support request. So I had to open another support request a different customer support representative. Eventually, they attended to me, they responded to me, new people took it over, and they did what I was expecting, which was review the account. And they saw that, oh, actually, you're right, right? You did not breach any rules. And thank God I was risking only half a percent. Imagine if I was risking 1%. And then I just end up breaching, the account for no good reason. So they looked into it, and graciously enough, thankfully, they actually returned the losses that I made on the extra positions that I had to close in drawdown just to protect my capital. So they actually refunded me, which was nice. But you can see that this was just Monday. This was the choppy price action euro dollar was giving, and I had already gone through all of this. So I was tired for that day, and I decided, look, you know what? I don't want to do any more trading this week, which good decision, but ended up being, you know, not profitable for me. In that same day, this was the price action. Now this was pound dollar. That same day, after price was doing all of that choppiness on euro dollar, it actually traded into, so this zone here, this red and green zone inside is a daily fair value gap. Beautiful. That was visible in price on the pound. At this point, now the trade price traded into is during London close kills, and this is the daily fair value gap I was talking about. See how price traded beautifully into it on Monday, and that was the low of the week. And from there, price just traded up. Now, price gave about three trading opportunities inside this daily fair value gap. I only capitalized on one. So on Monday, when price eventually traded into this daily fair value gap, I had an alert there. I saw it, but I had already taken two losses on the day on euro dollar, coupled with what happened, and I just told myself, you know what, no more trading for the day. But this was a beautiful setup. You see that, and price traded into its London close kill zone. This candle engulfed this previous candle, so this would have been the entry targeting the previous liquidity point, and that would have been a 5.97 hour trade. I missed out on this trade for the reasons that I have outlined. The following day, when Asia was still trading inside the level, I was hoping for Asia to trade lower, then give me a rejection so that I could ride the wave higher. But you see that Asia and London did not give me an entry. They went straight to the take profits, which was hit here during the London session. But we can see that that same day still gave me an entry because after that, London traded lower, took out Asia low, still within the daily fair value gap. Beautiful engulfing candle. I did take this trade and I made some money, 2.6 out. I made a video which is also on the channel. So this was where I was for the week, profitable. I could have stopped here. Now, pound still gave another entry after taking profit here. The next day, London traded. There was London news. I think the Bank of England Governor Bailey was speaking, and so price traded bearishly, took out New York low the previous day, took out these relatively equal lows, traded into the 4 hour fair value gap, and then started giving a rejection. On the 5 minutes, this was a beautiful trading opportunity that I could have taken. I saw it and I actually went to Trade Locker, executed. I think I even pressed buy, but I was looking at it. I'm like, okay, so this same daily fair value gap has given this entry, has given this entry. If it's coming back here, it might fail because look, price is just ranging, right? So I don't like it when a point of interest is being tested multiple times. But the higher the time frame you go, we know that the stronger the probability of it getting tested multiple times and still holding. So you can see that the weekly fair value gap might be tapped into 4, 5 times and it will still rally away from there. Whereas a 4 hourly fair value gap, by the time it gives the first reaction, might give a second reaction. The third one is probably going to get invalidated, right? But could also hold. So I told myself, look, there have already been two trading opportunities in this level. I don't want to go into a third one, especially as I've made money in the previous one. Not a bad decision to make in the moment, but of course, if I had taken that gamble, it would have rewarded me quite nicely for a 5.8 hour trade. Now, if I had taken it and it lost, I would have been very angry because I had a cogent reason not to take it. So the mere fact that it played out does not mean, that my decision to stay out of it was wrong. Now, in the future, now that I've seen that, okay, you know what, maybe I'll tell myself, maybe it's 50-50, it can play out, right? So if it gives me another entry, although it has given me two previous opportunities, hey, I'll still take it. And then if I lose that one, I have to live with the fact that, well, I have seen it play out before, so there was a good reason for me to take it. But this was all my trading, and this was by Tuesday. I had essentially made all the money I wanted to make in the week, and I did not have any more trading opportunities. I was essentially just waiting for price to trade into the weekly fair value gap, which we see here sitting on top of price. Now, at this point, my trading was still very good because this was the first reaction. So I have narrowed down this level, but this level actually started here, right? Price traded into it. Did not really like the reaction, so I stayed out, then traded into it again, and we were nearing NFP at this point. So I avoided all of this. What do you know? So I got the news about my job, then my account got taken down. So by Friday, although I did not want to trade NFP, this was the NFP candle. You see that before the NFP release came out, you can see that there was this beautiful rejection candle. Price traded above Asia high, traded into the weekly fair value gap. So this was before NFP. Now you don't enter trades before NFP. I know that, but I liked the rejection candle that I was seeing. I liked the entry, so I wanted to see if I could validate my trading idea, which is what I did. Took the trade, I went in with very minimal risk, 0.2%, because I know that the NFP candle, if it's going to go against you, will slip you. So I went in with 0.2% risk. I ended up losing about $148, so a little over 0.5% risk. That's about three times what I initially intended to risk. That annoyed me. And then I went into the 1 minute time frame on NFP. Like, why are you trading the 1 minute on NFP? That was just silly. But I was sort of annoyed with how quickly price took me out here for a loss. So yeah, I believe it was this 1 minute candle. As soon as Because I still believe that price was going to trade bearishly. So as soon as I saw this 1 minute candle, don't worry, I'll rectify that. As soon as I saw this 1 minute candle, you know, I decided to take the trade. Oh god, this is so annoying. You know what? Sometimes I forget my laptop is a touch screen. Yeah. So this was the trade. I I I essentially went in on the 1 minute time frame, tried to catch this reversal because I thought, if price starts trading bearishly, this is where it's going to happen from. But you see that did not happen. Took me out immediately. And then at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm done for the week. I've messed up enough. And then price eventually just traded lower. So it wasn't a great trading week, but I managed my risk very well. I risked 0.2% prior to NFP, and then I risked 0.5% after NFP had come out. So although I lost both trades, I had made some money on the week. So I just essentially gave back the profits, and now I'm down 1.2% for the week. That's essentially what happened in my trading this week.